Today, I'm going to be looking at Telos Guitars, a brand new plugin from Black Soul Audio, essentially an all-in-one mixing hub for your guitar needs. I'm Telos NESCI, I'm a mix engineer and composer based out of Sydney, Australia, and I am a guitarist, so this particularly hits home for me as a guitarist of now 15 or so years, something along the lines of that. Processing guitars, tracking guitars, and applying to effects to guitars is essentially my bread and butter. So when they reached out to me to say that we've got something for guitars, I was super excited, and I'm going to jump straight into it. So this is the UI for Telos Guitars. It's super intuitive, super easy to use. It's got a nice, greenish hue to it. And essentially you've got your input, your low pass filter, high pass filter. You've got things such as chug control, compress, saturate with the 3 different modes, your output, as well as a limiting, oversampling, deharsh, high, mids, low, your peak, your shelf, what frequencies and tone percentage you want to target. And then you've also got a preset section, which for me doesn't have any populated, but they're working on some in-house. I've made one just to show off, but essentially this allows you to do kind of a lot of different things in one. It could be kind of making a radio sound, applying some filtering, applying some compression, some chug control. It's essentially combining 3 or 4, I'd say, compression, EQ, limiting, and a couple of other more minute things into one plugin, which is super sick. So what I've got here is I've got some guitar stems supplied by my buddy Kyle on his song Category 3, which you should definitely go check out. I mastered it, and I just asked him for the multi-tracks so I could play around with the guitar tones a little bit for this video. So I'm just going to play it with everything off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to toggle on one of the presets I made super quickly, this crunchy radio one, so you can immediately hear like what you can do with this. Then I'm going to turn that back off, and I'm just going to play around with some of the presets on here so you can see the kind of manipulation that you can do with this. So the thing that I always look for when I'm like playing around with these plugins is how good can I make a radio sound, a lo-fi sound, how good can I make my guitar if I really want to manipulate it. And this is super cool to me because usually I have to combine like a couple of different plugins, usually an EQ, a couple of color plugins that I do that kind of get that more grainy sound. I can do it all in one on this one, which is really, really cool. So yeah, this is the perfect way, the perfect plugin to create that radio sound for your guitar. But if I turn that all off now, and if I just go again, I'm just going to play around with some of the things, some of the mids, some of the lows. I'm going to play around with some of the filters, as well as a bit of the compression, limiting, the oversampling. I'm just going to play through, and you can just take a listen and see how it sounds. So essentially I've gone through just then in the last few minutes and just played around with all the knobs so you can just hear how everything impacts the guitar tone, all different things you can do. Also, you're a fan of that 80s sounding guitar, go check out my buddy Kyle. He does this stuff all the time and it's really, really fun and really, really exciting to listen to. Basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to make a preset per se. I guess what I'm going to go for is I'm going to go for a little bit of a compressed tone. I'm going to try and get rid of some of the muddiness, I say. I'll boost the highs a little bit. I'll play around with the mids and a bit of the D harsh. I'm going to kind of create one preset and then I'm just going to A-B between it. So if I just go between now. So if I'll save it and then I'll A-B between. I'll go this. Yeah, so essentially what I've done there is I've just created that preset that I've labeled video preset, and it's essentially turned into a little bit of kind of just a air kind of thing. I boosted the highs a little bit, took out some of the low mid stuff, put some compression in, boosted the input a bit, and then the other preset I was just A-Bing between was kind of that crunchy radio sound that I made before, and then I was playing around between the default settings as well. But yeah, Black Salt Audio has pretty much created a plugin that combines 3 or 4 plugins that I can come to mind. You've got an EQ, you've got a big compression, you've got a saturator, you've got a limiter too, as well as some oversampling functions. So they've condensed the process of which you can practically kind of process your guitars, which is really sick. I mean, I'm a big fan of Black Salt Audio. If you haven't checked out Silencer and some of their other offerings, really incredible stuff. For me, this is really cool because as a guitarist, I'm using it all the time. Just like their other offerings, Black Soul Audio continue to offer really just practical solutions to everyday problems that mix engineers, producers, and tracking artists alike are all going to have. So this comes out July 18th. It should be out by the time that this video comes out. So absolutely go check out Telos Guitars. I believe there is a little bit of a trial period, but yeah, if I were you, I would definitely grab this if you're processing guitars in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, thanks for checking this video out. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm a very easy person to reach. Otherwise, yeah, definitely go check out Black Soul Audio and grab this amazing, amazing plugin.